So I'm Roger with Campfire Tales again. Today I'd like to talk about grouse hunting that we used to do along the Teanaway River, just a little north of Cleellum in Washington. It took several years to kind of find the good spots that really held the birds, and they're usually in pretty thick cover in willows, and to protect themselves from predators and hunters like us, but we found a couple of spots that if we were the first ones there in the season, the grouse would the eggs would hatch and they'd grow fairly quickly, but they'd stay together as a family, and sometimes we could flush 8 or 10 birds all at once. They were all kind of clustered together in there and have some pretty good shooting. So one day I took my wife and my buddy along, and we went to the spot that had some pretty thick cover, and I sent them at one end of the cover and I started at the other, and went walking along, and pretty soon the bird got up, and I managed to take it, and walked a little further, and another one got up, and it looked like it shot fairly quick, and I just couldn't see the bird come down or anything, so I must have missed one. So I walk a little bit more, and we hunt for a couple of hours actually, and I flush another bird finally, and it flies way up in a tree, and my wife and Emery were kind of standing around, and I said, "Hey, I'm pretty sure there's way up in this tall tree, there's a grouse up there somewhere. I didn't see him fly past it." So I says, "Whoever spots him first, gets that bird." And so everybody's staring up there, walking around the tree and looking up and whatever. And finally I spotted him, and I shot, and down he comes. And so by then, I had my 3-bird limit, and everybody else was kind of tired. We'd been hunting for a couple hours, and so I reached in my pack to unpack the birds, getting ready to go home, and I had one of these vests that the bird pockets in behind you, and I reach back there, and I've only got 2 of my 3 birds. Oh Jesus, what's going on here? So I started thinking, I know what I must have. This one bird that I knocked down, I must have just reached behind and didn't quite put it in the pocket right, and must have dropped it. So I said, "You guys just wait here. I'll take the dog with me and go out there. I'm pretty sure I know exactly where this bird should be, so just hang on for me. In fact, I'll just leave my gun here back at the car and walk straight back to that spot and come back in a minute or two." So I go back there, and as I start walking back, all of a sudden the dog gets birdie, and he starts sniffing around, and that spot that second bird that jumped up, and I thought I'd missed him, the dog goes over there, and I'll be darned if he doesn't find the bird. And so and then I walked to the spot that I thought I'd missed the pocket, and there was the bird there too. So I've now got 4 birds. I come back and share them with my wife and buddy. But that was probably the best bird hunting that I'd ever had. When they're still early in the season and they're all together, and their numbers, the hunters haven't taken too many of them, you can really get some good shooting from time to time. And it took me a while to learn to look up in the trees also and find them up there, but I was just mostly used to flushing birds and shooting them as they got up off the ground. So, but that was a good hunt, and that's how one of my success stories from hunting just a little bit north of Cleellum along the Teanaway River, where the bottomlands and thick brush are. We hope that you enjoyed this week's telling of Campfire Tales. Please remember to hit subscribe to make sure that you get the announcements for next week's upcoming activities, as well as the new topics for the Campfire Tales. Please also share the fun that we have here, and let your friends know about our website, RogersOutdoorChannel.org.